What's up, besties? It's your girl Morgan here, and you're listening to Your Internet Best Friend. All right, besties, today joining me on the podcast, I'm so excited for this Girl Talk episode. She is a former Nashville it girl. She's a full-time content creator. She literally gave birth to a child last week. She's a boy mom of 3. She's a makeup artist. She does literally everything. She's also one of the funniest people that I've ever encountered during our time in Mexico, which I'm sure we'll get into. The one and only Heather Kuntz. Welcome.
Oh my gosh. Hi, how are you?
Heather, how are you?
I'm great. I'm currently in a diaper right now, so like living my best life. I look amazing, feel amazing. I mean, I literally just had like a baby on my boob.
It's fine.
Nursing.
Heather, I'm also, I don't know, for the listeners out there, you got to go to YouTube and look and visually. Heather, you look so good.
Thank you so much. I feel not so good. Like I'm
Okay.
gonna need I need all of the fitness, health, like juju coming your way from my way to from you. I need all of it
I got
because
you.
I am not feeling so great right now, but
Okay.
contour's helping.
It's fine. Yeah, no, the face looks good. Well, I want to talk all about makeup because I know nothing about makeup. And so Heather and I, we went to Tulum together. That's a little backstory for those who are like, why are you guys doing a podcast together? I don't get it. We were in Tulum together, what, like a year ago?
Yeah, like
A
almost
year
exactly a year
ago.
ago.
Yeah, we did a collection with Buddy Love. We shot it. Heather did my makeup, and I'm like, damn, I've been doing everything so wrong. So
Stop.
yeah, she's got it. She's got it. But okay, Heather, since Tulum, what have you been up to? You had another kid. Just yeah, tell me how. Just give me a life little update on you.
So that was not the last time I went to Mexico, because in the time after that I went to Mexico, I brought back a little souvenir, and then I just had him last week. So that was
Hey,
that's been my year basically.
okay.
That's what I
Did
did.
were you guys trying, or is just like a little fun little surprise?
No, so, like, I don't this whole, like, trying for babies thing, like, I don't know how people really do that or, like, what kind of planning that takes because, like, one was a result of, like, a Nashville night out.
Hey.
The other one was a result of, like, trying not to ruin a spray tan, and this one was a result of, like, tequila in Mexico, so
Wait, it's the not ruining a spray tan one for me because that is so insanely relatable.
yep, I just didn't wanna ruin a spray tan. I had, like, no kids for, like, 20 minutes. I'm like, you know,
It's fine.
things happen.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you have 3 boys. Under what age, Heather?
They're all under 3.
Heather.
Like,
Okay.
praise be.
Okay, Godspeed to
Yeah,
you, but I
yeah,
will say, and I mean, I'm just observing from social media and kind of the little that I know about you, I feel like you just, handle it so well. Like, every
thank
time
you.
I see you online, I'm like, "Heather, you just seem chill." Like, you really do seem like if anyone was gonna have 3 boys, I really do feel like it was supposed to be you.
Thank you so much. I'm just, like, trying to raise them right and, like, not lose my sanity at the same time,
Yeah.
but we take it day by day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. How was I just saw in your story that you had some markings on your wall?
Okay, I have a little Picasso in our family, and I made the mistake of getting them a chalk wall and, like, doing one of those black walls,
Yeah.
that are so cute and the kids love, except that, like, my 2-year-old has no concept of the fact that it needs to be kept on the black walls, so we're dealing with that. It's fun, it's glamorous, I love it.
It's fine. I guess walk me through. I'm just curious for my own self. So you're a full-time influencer. You kind of that, we do the Instagram thing, but you also have 3 under 3. Heather, walk me through a day in your life. I don't understand. I can barely do what I do, and I'm taking care of just me. Like,
Well, I owe it all, like, truly owe it all to my husband because he doesn't work outside of the house anymore,
okay.
so he helps do, like, daddy daycare throughout the day, which has been a blessing. I feel like actually that's been a change in the last year. So, he does a lot of that kinda stuff and helps me out there, but I feel like we just try to cram as much stuff in as humanly possible. So, like,
Mm,
I will just like, on days that I'm doing my makeup, I try to, like, film everything, really quick at one time. I'll film like 6 reels in that, like, 2-hour span, just try to bust things out, and then the rest is kinda just, like, content as it happens, I guess.
Unbelievable. I don't get it. I don't get it, but I applaud you. Wait, so
Thank you.
does your husband does he work like, you know how like influencers, it's the trend, which I'm like, I want that to be me so bad, where the husband like works kind of for the influencer? Is that the
Kind of, yeah,
thing?
he does all of our books and everything, and basically before he was, like, doing medical device sales, and he was gone at, like, all these weird hours and stuff, and I just told him, I was like, "If you just trust me, I feel like we can make a lot more money
Yeah.
if like, I mean, there's just a certain scalability of, like, normal jobs where,
Mhm.
like, you pick up an extra contract here or there with what we do, and I feel like you can earn that money pretty easily,
Yeah.
without doing a ton of extra stuff, so that's kinda where our decision was, and so far, we're not eating, like, mac and cheese, so, like,
Hey,
every single day, but
it's working out. It's working
yeah,
out. Good for you. I mean, I always tell
thanks.
people like the influencer world is insane. Like it really is. People don't understand how much you can grow and make and all of that. So
Totally.
I give your hubby mad props. I'm waiting for that to happen for me. We're not there yet. It's
I
fine.
mean,
We don't know.
we don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, Heather's on my close friends, guys. So she sees all the behind the scenes tea, which by the way, Heather, you have a great close friends as well. I love when you have a green circle on yours.
Thank you so much, I feel like maybe mine are inappropriate,
Mm,
just, some of the, like, outlandish things that we feel like we hear on the internet, like, every once in a while I'll throw up there because
yeah, it
it's yours
is.
is juicy. Yours is very juicy, I feel like.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I don't have a lot of stability in my life, so like I'm like, "You got a husband and kids, I've got a long distance lover." I'm like, "Well, I can't post this for the people, so I'll post it for my close friends."
I live for it. Literally me in the hospital just, like, looking at all of your stuff from Australia, I'm like, "Okay, okay, go Morgan."
Oh my god, wait, Heather, can you walk me through giving birth? Like, can you
Do you wanna know about it? It's amazing, it's so fun.
I just wanna know on a pain scale, what would you rank it?
I so I highly recommend drugs. I
Yes.
do,
Mhm,
like
mhm.
like the kind they give you in the hospital, the legal kind. I would just recommend that because honestly, like this time around, actually the past 2 times, I went in to the hospital basically with the idea. I told the nurses immediately, I'm like, "I don't wanna feel
Mhm,
what's
mhm.
going on." And so they gave me an epidural really quickly, like, pretty much whenever it starts to feel like period cramps, I was like, "I want an epidural now."
Yep, that's
Could
me.
I have taken more pain? Sure, but, like, why? So
Yeah.
I just chose to, like, get an epidural early both times around, and last one was out in 3 pushes, this one was out in 1 push, and I swear it was, like,
Heather,
the easiest experience of my life.
Heather,
It's nuts, I know.
1 push?
Yeah,
Oh, you're meant for this. Some people were just put on this earth to pop out
breed.
children. You're one of them. You gotta have more.
Yeah, like, just like, I mean, I'm gonna have, like, 12, I think, now. I mean, just they're just gonna walk out
Yeah.
eventually.
Wait, are I have to ask, are you gonna keep trying till you have a girl? I'm sure everyone asks you that.
I don't know, like, I think I'm just, like, resigned to the fact that I'm just gonna always have boys, like, in the back of my mind,
Mhm.
if we tried again, my thought wouldn't be like, "It's gonna be a girl." It has to be because I feel
Yeah.
like I thought that this time around. Now I'm like, "It's just gonna I'm all boys for life."
You
I'd be pleasantly surprised if it was a girl, but no.
but on the not the bright side, like, you have healthy babies, that's wonderful, but athletic genes run in your family, Heather. We got a lot of football players, so you're definitely
Not
getting
in mine, not in my family, but on my husband's side of the family, they are like Christian is 6'5", and he's the shortest one in his family. Like, my father-in-law, when I met him for the first time, he looked me up and down, like, eyeballed me, and he was like, "So, how tall are you? And are there any athletes in your family?" I was like, "Well, I was a cheerleader."
Yeah,
He's like,
that counts. Oh, wait, how tall is his mother? Also
his
tall.
mom's like, yeah, like 5'11", his sister is 6'1". and this, I mean, outside of of the boys, he's the shortest, and he's 6'5".
Okay, so your son's one is bound to be in the NFL. So, like, you know what? Honestly, Heather, keep having boys. I think you should keep having boys because you know what? Us girls, we're not getting you those seats in the NFL. And if they
I
are,
could be like Taylor Swift's mother-in-law or something someday. Who
there you
knows?
go.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Oh my God, I support it. I support it. Also, which brother is the one I was at one point hitting on and thought was so cute? Is he single still?
He is, and I think that's the one that's in the NFL. So,
Oh my goodness gracious.
and okay, as a Swiftie, right? So his agent is Patrick Mahomes' agent, and his agent Chris was in the suite with Taylor at some point in time. I saw him in the back of a video. I'm like,
Stop.
our 6 degrees to Taylor is like really closing and narrowing quickly. I mean,
It's fine.
he's a tight end. Travis is a tight end. Like at some point, we're gonna cross paths. I think
At some point you will be best friends with Taylor Swift, and
we're gonna try.
I'm here for it.
Bring you along.
Please do. Please, I there's no reason for me to be there, but I would like to be there.
Come on down.
So I'm assuming you are a Swiftie fan.
I'm like a new Swiftie. So like
Okay.
when we went to Tulum last year, I remember you buying Taylor Swift tickets while we were there, and I was
Yes.
like, why? You told me how much you spent for these tickets, and I was like, why would you do that? My sister is a big Swiftie.
Okay.
I think I like converted this year because like I feel like I related to Taylor on a different level because like I too was a former Jersey chaser at a certain point in my life. So
Okay.
I'm like, respect, you know, like,
Yeah.
but not that she was chasing a jersey, but like, you know, like I just felt more connect, and I
Mm.
love, so like I love seeing their little relationship bloom, and like I couldn't get enough of it this year,
Do
so now I
do
am.
you think it's a publicity stunt?
I don't. I think it's the real deal.
I agree. Like, I actually get offended when people, like, if I post about them, people are like, it's publicity. It's all fake. It's for, like, the last one was like, it's for the election. I was like, can you guys calm down?
Okay,
Calm down
yeah,
with that one. They're like,
relax.
they're sponsored by Pfizer. Like, that Pfizer's the one paying them. I'm like, you guys got to chill with that one. Like, I don't think,
Literally, I think it's the real deal, and I think that they're cute. They're so cute. How can you not see them and like think that they're adorable?
like,
Like,
yes. Yes, I am a fan. I am also a fan of jerseys, although I don't know cricket. That's the new
I
that's
saw that.
that's the new sport. That is the official sport of Australia. They play cricket. It's very odd. I don't get it. Weird, but
I
still got
watched a Bluey episode on it this morning and literally thought of you. I was like, "Oh, Morgan, there you are."
it's fine. It's fine. Did you meet your husband through you found him because he played a sport or like how did that work?
So you're from Texas, so okay, so well, and also you have a special connection to Penn State University too. So I grew up there. Ew. So I grew up there in that town. And it's a lot like College Station, A&M, like very cult like, very football
Love
like.
that.
So like everyone it's all about football there. And so my husband, I met him in college and knew some of the football players and stuff. Like when we go to weddings and stuff now, he'll introduce me to friends and like we were friends in college.
Yeah.
He and I didn't know each other like super well. We crossed paths and like there's pictures and stuff of like us out at bars and at parties and stuff where we didn't ever talk or know each other, but we're in the same room together. So we knew of each other and knew all of our friends, and then we reconnected late years later. But now, I
Okay.
mean, honestly, I would not be lying to you, or I would be lying to you if I said that it wasn't like a, oh, so you played football at Penn State. Like my parents are like that. Like,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's just something about a jersey that it just
it's just,
it just does it for me.
I know.
When you met him, okay, Heather, I have to bring this up.
Yeah,
Your haircut.
it was nice. It was really cute. I don't know what you're talking about.
I die every time I see a photo. So for those listening, Heather at one point in her life, look, we've all had questionable hair. I had scrunched hair and I straightened my bangs.
It was cute.
I had an ombre. It was cute. You gave strong Kate Gosselin vibes.
I literally had the most angular haircut in the entire world, but, like, that angle was so sharp it could cut a bitch. Like, that was just, like, and I had, like, a very heavy side bang, like, my hair didn't move. It was just
I
it
w
was it was
I
nice.
will say it was so nice. It was a style back then, though. It was the thing.
Yeah, like, whenever you were going out, like, you would just, like, make sure your hair was teased right, like, your hairspray was
Mm,
all set, you had your nice, like, bib necklace on with, like, your blazer,
yes,
like, your corporate wear to the bar, like,
the
that
peplum.
was the
It
thing.
was the peplum
Yes.
top with did
Charlotte
you
Russe chic.
yeah, did you have the Kendra Scott a big thing for you?
So Kendra Scott wasn't a big thing until I moved to Texas, and
Mm.
then I was, like I had those big ass earrings, like, I
Oh,
swear that I need surgery on my earlobes from
oh,
those
it for
earrings.
sure. I have scars from the Danielle earrings, and
The Danielle that yes,
there we go. There we go. And it
yes,
was the massive, like, chunky turquoise, so
the bib.
heavy, the bib that yes, that I wore to the bar with my wedges from Forever 21 that I loved.
They're so like you're speaking my love language. I mean, that is just that's prime like 2013. I mean,
Oh,
I was like a young professional at that point in time because I'm a little bit older than you, but like same, you know.
oh man. Well, let's talk about the past. Someone actually did ask in one of the questions for you, and they said, this is a serious question. I'm not sure if this is, but I'm gonna pretend like it was. Okay. They said, what was it like being the Nashville it girl back in the day?
I, I don't know who the hell said I was a Nashville it girl, what that means, but I guess I was. That's cool if somebody
Hey.
thought that. I really love people and I love knowing everybody, and
Hmm.
so I will say, like, Tin Roof holds a special place in my heart, and I really did love walking into Tin Roof, like, on Demumbrian and knowing every bartender and knowing like, that's such an accolade, knowing every bartender, but, like, just knowing everybody in the room made me feel like I just loved that, like, I love knowing people and, like, being able to talk to
uh,
people and stuff, so that was fun.
the follow-up question was, what was the tea at Tin Roof back in the day? Literally verbatim. What was the
It's so
Heather,
great.
what was the tea? I don't think I've ever been to Tin Roof. I know, and I've lived in Nashville for a year. I don't look at me like
You
that.
need to get on like, you need to call up Becca immediately and get to Tin Roof right away, like,
Uh,
preferably on a Sunday as well, they have great Sunday fun days.
okay. So
It it's
okay.
beautiful. That's
Okay.
always my number one recommendation for people, like, if you are going to Nashville and you want to run into a celebrity or something like that,
Really?
true story, and that's where you can always go to Tin Roof, you will find somebody there. The first time I ever went there, I saw Chris Young. Okay, these are the people I've seen.
Okay.
Chris Young, Gavin DeGraw, every Bachelor cast member in the entire world, every, like, country singer, like, it's weird and wild and, like, it's just it's I feel like it's, like, a place where, like, people who are in Nashville can kind of, like, step away and, like,
Yeah.
you know, get out of, like, the
Yeah, I mean,
tourist.
it's not on Broadway, so I feel like
Right,
that's where, like, people go. I feel like that's where more the locals go,
definitely.
which, like,
Very, very
I
much
don't
so.
think I've lived in Nashville for a year, but I think I've actually spent maybe 3 months total
So
here.
you've lived in Nashville.
I live in Nashville. People are like, why do you pay rent?" I'm like, "I don't know. I
I
like
mean,
I like wasting money."
they have such a nice airport, right? I saw your story, I was dying.
Heather, I recorded an episode right before this about my travels to Australia, and I had to recap my travel day, and yeah, I would like everyone to know if I leave Nashville, it's not because of the people, it's not because of the city, it's 100% because of the stupid airport.
The airport there is literally like flying into Harrisburg, Pennsylvania or something. It is the tiniest little airport in the entire world, and
It's
actually it's grown since I moved away, but
it
tiny
hasn't
little
gotten better
airport.
though. Has not gotten better. It's still got that brown carpet I have nightmares about.
Probably my favorite thing that, like, like, of the accolades and stuff, BNA Carpet follows me on Instagram, and that's still one of,
S
like they have an Instagram account for it. It's I forgot about the brown carpet. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I'm so happy they follow you. DM them and be like, "Your airport sucks." I did this podcast. She hates your airport. It's fine. What is I feel like you'll have a good answer for this. What's your craziest Nashville story? Did you get a black
Ooh.
eye at one point?
When my husband and I started talking, I had that black eye. So that was a tin roof. That was yeah, that happened. It was, like, I was friends with all the bartenders and stuff. My
Okay.
phone was dead. And so I went back behind the bar to plug my phone in. My friend Shu, who's one of the bartenders, I go back to grab it. Now this is like Memorial Day weekend. We had come from like a white party on some rooftop and like everyone's
Okay.
dressed up so nice and everything. And I was not in the right state of mind.
Love that.
And he came around the bar and like, was doing his bartending thing. And I was just drunk and trying to get my phone. And he came around and elbowed me in the face, like turned around really fast. And he's like, Heather! I'm like, well, except the next day, I didn't know what happened, and, like, Becca and I both couldn't. Becca is, like, one of my best friends from Nashville, you know her,
Yeah.
but I couldn't we couldn't piece together, like, what had happened,
I'm
and
dead.
I just thought me being, like, we were so drunk, I thought maybe I, like, fell over throwing up, like, and hit my head off of a toilet or something. I don't know, I really had no idea, like, what was. I mean, I was, like, 28, 27, an idiot, and we walked into Tin Roof the next night, and everyone, like, all the bartenders, like, "Oh, Heather, how's your eye?" And I'm like, "You know what
No.
happened?" Like, I had a full-on black eye, and that was when Christian and I first started talking, and he met me with a black eye.
You should
It
have,
was cute.
like, you should have pranked him and been like, "Yeah, I got in a bar fight. You should see the other
Right.
girl."
Yep.
It's fine.
Yep.
Hey.
That was one of the crazier ones. I feel like I don't know, Nashville has so many, like, weird stories. Like I was seeing this guy one time, and this was like the first concert I had ever like gone backstage at, like ever in my life maybe. And I went backstage, he was playing at this like festival, and they had this bar in the back, and I walk up to we were drinking. A lot of these stories from Nashville have a lot to do with drinking. It's
Everything in
weird.
Nashville revolves around alcohol, so, like, it's
So
fine.
strange. Yeah. We go to this concert thing, and there's, like, a bar in the back, and I'm, like, in the bar, and there's probably 2 girls in addition to me, period, in the sea of men, and I see that one of the women who is in the room is Gretchen Wilson, who's, like, Redneck Woman Gretchen
Ah!
Wilson, and I'm like, "Oh," like, and I mean, this I'm, like, brand new to Nashville, like, so I'm
Yeah.
still a little bit, like, starstruck and, like, seeing people, and she had been around since, like, forever. So she we go to walk out of the room, like, out of this bar thing, me and this other girl, and she comes, like, chasing after us, and I'm like, "What the heck?" She's like, "Ah, girls, I'm so sorry, like, we didn't mean to be rude and, like, not introduce ourselves, us girls gotta stick together," and she's like, "I'm Gretchen Wilson," and I said, "No shit." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like,
Oh,
You're
sorry.
on stage. You were just on stage." So, anyway, like, long story short, Brantley Gilbert was performing on stage, and she was like, "Hey, you guys wanna go watch the show?" Like, this is within, like, 2 minutes of meeting her. She's like, "Wanna go watch the show, like, on stage?" And we're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." So,
Why not?
she took me on stage behind the drummer, like, we walked around the stage and went over to, like, what they call Monitor City, which is, like, where the
Mhm.
soundboards are, and, like, the guy put, like, the thing in my ear because like, backstage, it's quiet at a show, like because all the speakers face out. So, like, he put the thing in my ear so I could hear what it sounded like, what, like, the audience was hearing. It was just really cool. That was, like, one of my weekends.
Ah. See,
Just a random, like, "Oh, yeah, this happens in Nashville on, like, a Tuesday
but
night,"
that
sorta
is
thing.
Nashville, like, from what I've picked
Yeah.
up, it's like, it is the smallest big city. It is truly bizarre.
It's
Like,
so weird. Yes.
everyone is 1 degree of separation from the other. When you were here, did you find that everyone somehow dates each other? It's
Morgan.
weird.
I have the best, like, dating story. The same person, okay? We had just started talking, this, like, country singer guy, and he's, like, kind of on the bigger end now of things, I feel like, but, like, we just started talking, just had, like I was really new to Nashville, I just met him, and, like, I had not even been to his house or, like, anything like that, didn't know where this kid lived, and Becca, I met her at Tin Roof that night, the first time I ever met Becca.
Classic.
So, the way that her and I met, like, we met at the bar, we started talking, and that night, really random and weird, but if you know Becca, then makes perfect sense. We ended up having a sleepover that night at her apartment, like, had
'Kay.
just met this girl, and then the next morning, we wake up and she's like, "So we're going to brunch." Here's some clothes, take whatever you need. Come on, the whole gang's waiting on us." Like, she's just kinda like the mayor of Nashville.
Yes.
And so I'm like, "Okay." So I started talking about this guy, like, she's like, "Are you dating anyone?" Like, whatever, and I was like, "Well, I'm kind of, like, talking to this guy or whatever." And she's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "So, a couple of things you're gonna need to know. 1, he lives upstairs, okay? That's number 1. He lives in this building and lives right upstairs, literally the next floor, same like,
Stop.
literally same room
Love that.
above her." And then she's like, "Also, our other friend that's coming to brunch, she kind of, like, hooks up with him sometimes, so, like,
Mm.
just so you know, like, maybe don't mention that you're talking to him." And I'm like,
Yes, ma'am.
"Okay,
Okay.
great. Oh, awesome. This is amazing." So it was like, and I feel like I always heard stories that were kind of
Yes.
like that. Like, this guy and I didn't end up working out because I just really hated this, like, even if you're not like, I would get messages from people being like, "Hey, you know so and so, right? Like, you're really good friends with him." I'm like, "Yeah, really good friends. They're
Yeah.
great."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
We'll
like,
say
and
that.
people would be like, "Oh, yeah, we're talking." I'm like, "Oh, great.
Are
Cool.
you? No,
Yeah."
it is bizarre how many
Right.
stories I've heard like that. And
Yep.
even like, yeah, the one guy, the literal one guy that I was like kind of talking to in Nashville,
Yeah.
same thing, same thing. I went to dinner with some new girls that I thought were
Yep.
so fun. And I knew one of them and I was chit chatting and I was like kind of gushing because she knew about this guy. And I was like, his name is so and so. Oh my gosh, we're going to hang out. And the girl across from me starts laughing. And they're honestly, like, there's nothing worse than that feeling, and she
Yeah.
starts laughing, and she was like, "Is his name so and so?" And I, like, melt into my seat, and I was like, "Yeah."
Uh-huh.
She was like, "Oh my gosh, like, yeah, like, we've been talking. He also invited me to the same exact party." I was like, "Oh my god," I'm literally mortified, mortified. And that should have been, like, my number one red flag. I ignored that, unfortunately, but, like, and I also her and I both still went to the pool party, like, separately. Oh my god, it was so it was so I was like,
Like,
"I'm
you're
not
still gonna
gonna."
go.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm not gonna let her win, like, I'm still gonna go," and
Good
she
for
also
you.
still showed up. We, like, waved to each other, we're like, "Hey, girl,
That
what up?"
side note, but I think the guy that you're talking about, just like a little thing, that guy and the girl that
Yes.
he has a type. He has a type. Let's just put it that way.
Heather, do you know
Right?
that that okay, for those listening, I've mentioned this guy in the podcast before, his name's Bicep Boy. Um, Bicep Boy was dating a very famous blonde singer in Nashville.
Yeah.
No longer. No longer.
Oh,
I
really?
know. I don't know. And it's
Oh.
so funny. One of my friends actually sent it to me. I guess homegirl famous blonde singer unfollowed him on the
Ooh,
gram. So I was
tea,
like, "Ah, the
tea.
Nashville's just weird. It's weird what people know." There's like a Reddit page that people
Yes.
always send me stuff about, which is fascinating. But yeah, I guess on look, there's gonna be another blonde in Nashville because there's a million of them, but it's wild.
I whenever I connected those things, and I think I knew who it was before and
Yeah.
everything, but then once I saw who singer was dating,
Yeah.
because he kind of looks like my ex
And he also
too.
looks just like the Aussie boy. Like it is uncanny. Like it's just weird.
That is so true. Oh
It's
my
weird.
ew. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
you're right.
weird.
I mean, not ew, but, like, yeah, you're right, but yes. Like, but
Yeah.
he definitely has a type because you look well, you and her favor each other.
Yeah, minus the fact that, like, I can't play guitar and can't sing to save my life, but it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, well, it's
I'm a
fine.
I'm a really good influencer. I'm really good at selling ads on Instagram.
We have so many talents. I
You
mean,
know?
there's just so many of them. It's hard to name them all.
Why would everyone not want to be with us? I don't understand.
I was trying to explain to my mother-in-law one time, like, she's not on social media or anything like that, like, one of the first times I was trying to explain, like, what we
Yeah.
do, I was like, "Well, like, yeah, we sell products, but it's not like QVC kinda thing. It's more like we're, like, selling our personalities and everything," like, and I'm trying to talk about how, like, people feel connected with, like, who they're following on the internet, and she then repeated to somebody else in front of me, she's like, "And this is my daughter-in-law, her name's Heather, she sells herself on the internet." And I'm like, "Ugh, what
Not
this
she sells
girl?"
herself on that. I mean, that is kind of what we do
Yeah,
to an extent.
yeah,
But and I'm sure you understand this. There's no way to describe what we do without sounding dumb.
Right.
Like,
100%.
I'm always like, "Ooh, I work in social media." And then
That's
they're
such a better answer than when I say, I'm like, "I do Instagram." Like, what?
I mean, but that makes sense. Like, yeah, but I'm like, "I'm in social media marketing." And they're like, "Yeah, for what company?" I'm like,
Ooh,
"Mhm. Um,
my own.
myself. I'm an entrepreneur." They're like, "Yeah, what do you sell?" I'm like, "Um, different
Like, how do we quickly,
different
like,
things."
differentiate us from, like, OnlyFans? Like, that's not what we
Mm,
do.
no, it's
We
yeah,
but, like, no shade, but, like,
yeah,
it's not that.
it's not that. Yeah, I was also around Hot Ozzy's mom trying to describe what I do, and she was like, so he told me that you do travel?" I was like, "Okay, I'm I'm happy that he did not at least say she does Instagram." I was like, "Oh, yes, yeah, yes, I do travel full time. That is that is my
Yes.
job. We
Here I
travel
am
we
working.
we travel, a lot. Yeah, content creation. But that leads me to one of my questions that people wanted us to discuss, and I'm curious what you have to say about this. How do you navigate being a 24/7 influencer, which is what we do, 24 freaking 7? How do you navigate that and making your life public, especially with kids, for people to
Ooh.
critique?
Honestly, like, this kinda took me a while to, like, figure this out. I feel like you're social media, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you
Mhm.
don't. Like, if you don't put your like, for me, if I don't put my kids on social media and I just post myself, then all of a sudden I'm, like, self-centered, selfish, like, whatever, I only care about myself, whatever.
Mhm.
If I put my kids out there too much, then I'm using my kids as props, and then, it's exploiting them, whatever. So, like, I feel like just kind of keeping it, like, happy middle ground with them. I try not to put them in, like, content, like ads and stuff like that,
Mhm.
because I feel like that feels a little exploitative. Is that the right
Yeah.
word I'm looking for? Yeah, sure. But, like,
Sure.
it sure.
Mm.
But, like, I just feel like that's always it. Like, you're not gonna please everybody with what you're
Right.
doing. So, I try to just keep it a respectful boundary. Like, there's so much
Mhm.
going on in, like, my life that, like, I feel like you and I talked about this in Mexico and stuff where, like, I have family members who are sick, for instance, and, like, nobody I mean, I mentioned just that,
Mhm.
but, like, nobody knows who the family members are,
Right.
what's going on in their life because that's their business, and, like, I'm gonna keep that boundary, and, like, I try to just kind of keep that as is. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make my kids and husband, like, pose for pictures, but they are gonna, like, pose for pictures, like, on Christmas and Easter and stuff, just like every other family in America because, damn it, I want the
Hello.
memories, but yeah, exactly, but, like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it for just, like, random
Right.
content, but so I don't film, like, reels with my husband. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If your husband's down to do it, that's amazing, but, like,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
yeah, it's whatever works best.
Yeah.
When because I'm sure you deal with hate comments too. And like at this point I've done it for so long to where it's like now you can tell me my hair looks bad or my outfit looks bad and like it's not going to bother me. Like I might
No.
shed a tear if I'm having a bad day, but then I'm gonna get over it. So what like does that bother you? Like how do you deal with criticism?
I it's never a fun feeling, like, having somebody say stuff to you, but
Yeah.
I also have really come to this, like, realization well, 1, I always post almost always post whenever someone leaves, like, something stupid and unnecessary on my page. I'm like, "You that's clown behavior, so if you wanna act like that, that's fine, but, like, since you're okay with being public and doing that
Yeah.
publicly, I'm okay with posting your name publicly, like, I'll put it on my story. Oops, I've done that a
Oops.
handful of times. Oops, sorry. But, like, I kind of just realized, like, oh, it's so unnecessary, like,
Mhm.
I cannot imagine, like, walking through Target or something and, like, looking at somebody and being like, "You're ugly." And that's what I think of whenever these people are, like, posting stuff and, like, unnecessary comments and stuff on our pages. I'm like, who raised you where like,
Right.
you're okay with saying that kind of stuff to strangers on the internet?" And they're like, "Well, if you don't" and I love/hate slash hate this argument when people say, "Well, you're, like, putting it out there, so, like, what do you expect?" I'm like,
Okay.
I
It,
don't know, like,
that's not how
if
it
my
works.
no, if my neighbors put out ugly Christmas decorations or Halloween decorations, it's not like I'm standing out there, like, knocking on their door being like, your decorations are ugly,
I
but, like,
just
you put them out there,
just
so you
felt
should
the
be able
need to tell ya. Yeah,
to tell you.
it literally baffles me, and the best is I don't know if people have done this to you, but I'll respond to people. Like, if they are gonna say
Yeah,
something rude, I won't people are always like, "I'll ignore it, it doesn't matter," and I'm like, "No, no, 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 I want to acknowledge I want them to realize that I'm a human with
right.
feelings who it even though it doesn't bother me, I'm like, "Hey," like, I'm reading it." I'd say 90% of the time, people say, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't think that you were going to see that," and I'm like, what?
How?
What? That makes no
Right.
sense to me. What? Or the 10% people are like, "Oh my god, I meant to send that to my friend and I sent it to you instead." I'm like, "Honestly, that's a better excuse. Use that one. That one I'll give you a little bit more of a pass." I'm like, "Well,
Yeah,
fine."
yeah, fine, at least you're just being a troll behind the scenes, but, like, it's so stupid. Here's a question for you, do you feel like you get, like, more random hate because you've been on reality
Yes.
TV?
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
so, like,
wild.
I was gonna be on Big Brother at one point. I was thinking about this beforehand. I was gonna be on Big Brother at one point while I lived in Nashville, and I backed out because I was so afraid. Like, I was watching one of my friends who won The
Mhm.
Bachelor at the time literally get, like, death threats
Yeah.
because of, like, a situation that happened there, and I'm like, I can't imagine just, like, putting your life out there and or, like, putting yourself out there or whatever, and then just having people follow you. Like, sure, you get a lot of followers from being on reality TV and stuff, but I'm like, people just hate follow you for no
Yeah.
reason. Like, I have a couple friends who have been on different shows, and I think about that all the time. I feel like people love you, so, like, maybe it's different, but some
I
people just
will say
hate people.
majority of the people who follow me and have stuck around the song do like me. So, like, that
Yeah,
is positive, but yeah, I don't know who I was talking to another influencer about it, and they didn't know I had a reality TV background, and I was asking them, I was like, "Yeah, like, the troll comments and, the hate can kinda be a lot," and they just looked dumbfounded. They're like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, 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 reality TV is like a different kind of like, for my reality TV listeners listening to this, I love you guys, but the mean ones are brutal."
brutal.
And I don't know if it's because they watch us on a show and it makes us feel not real, like not real people,
Sure.
or like with Big Brother, you watch someone 24/7, so you feel like you know them a little bit. I don't really
Right.
understand, but I to this very day, 4 years later, still get DMs about my time on X on the beach, and I still get DMs about my former relationship. Some people are like, "Are you guys still together?" I'm like,
No.
no, I'm 30 now. I'm not 24 anymore. So some time has passed, but thank you for what being concerned. I appreciate it. It's weird.
Really appreciate that, yeah.
It's
It's
fun.
just so strange, like, I remember there was a kid on The Bachelor who I knew, kind of a sad story, but, like, he passed away after he was on The
Oh,
Bachelor, and it was like a drug sort of situation, I
okay.
think. I don't know all the details on it, but it had come out, and an old comment that I had left from his days on The Bachelor, like, whenever he first was on the show, someone replied to that after he passed away and was like, "He had it coming," or, like, something like that, and I'm like, "What is wrong with
What?
people?"
Yeah.
Like, that I just cannot fathom, like, what goes through people's heads whenever
Yeah.
they're just
It
it's so
is
weird.
bizarre, but I have a now I'm following your lead, and yeah, if you say something nasty and your handle is in it, it deserves to be posted. It deserves to be
Yeah,
posted. And
like,
9
make a
times out
burner
of t
account or something.
yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, make a burner account with no photo, no name, no followers, like, okay,
Yeah,
cool. Half the time it's a mom with her children in her photo,
always, right?
always, and the bio's like, "Live, laugh, love Jesus," or something
Yes,
like
always. Or I like the ones wherever I get, like, a random guy who will, like, say something, and so I have done this many a times where, girls are FBI agents, like,
yeah.
secretly, if the FBI, like, needs me, I will come calling, but, like, they like, if a boy will say something to me, I will and he has a girl in his photo, I will go on Facebook, like, if he has a private account, I'll go on Facebook, type in his name, find the girlfriend, and then I will go and message her and be like, "Hey, by the way, I would be super embarrassed if my husband was ever, like, acting like this, so, like, I'm just letting you know that, like, your man is crazy and, like, this needs to stop." Like,
Leave immediately.
yeah, just get
He
out.
Heather, honestly, you're doing the Lord's work. We need more of you. We need
Thank
more
you
of
so
you.
much. Thank
Do
you.
wait, did the women ever respond back to you?
Yes, I had one that, like, she was like, "I'm so sorry, that's so embarrassing," and the guy deleted his comment, and, like, I just don't play around. No, like,
No.
I'm always really nice to the girls, like, I'm not, like, mean, but I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, by the way, like, I would be really embarrassed if this was my boyfriend and, like, my husband, they were doing
Yeah.
anything like this." Like, I would literally probably have homicidal thoughts if I found out that, like, my husband was just being a troll to random girls on the internet, so, like, I
But
just
also, yeah, and I feel like it's telling of their character. Like, if you're dating a guy who is commenting on a female influencer's photos, one, he needs a
yeah,
hobby.
right.
Two, yeah, you should just break up with him. Like, I just really don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna
No.
work well for you in the long run. So,
No, it's not cute, and
like,
normally they're like I did find there was one the other day where this guy, he so I found out a lot about him. He was, I found out his name, and then I found his girlfriend, and then through the girlfriend found, like, more information about him, Googled him and everything. So he had, like, moved to America from, like, Hungary or some Eastern European country
okay.
to play hockey, and he and this girl had met at university. I know a lot about these people. They met at University of Buffalo when he was in his minor league hockey career. It didn't work out, so they moved to Dallas. He's
Oh,
also 5'9", which I understand if I were a man. No shame to nice short men, but, like, if I were 5'9", I understand why you might be angry with the world and life. So
it's
so I said, "Go off, short king. That's fine." But
Heather. Wait, what? Do you remember what he commented?
he said something about, like, I don't know, it was, like, something stupid, but it was literally at 8 in the morning, like, I'm sitting here at 8 in the morning in Pennsylvania, and he lives in Dallas, so this is 7 in the morning, and he's commenting something about, like, wannabe influencers online, like, on, like, a random
What?
comment, and I'm like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Bro, I haven't even had my coffee yet this morning, like, what are you doing?"
You're
Like,
like, "It is too early to be an FBI agent, but here I
yeah.
am."
Like, sorry, like, so, yeah, if it's, like, if NCIS, the FBI, what are those shows? Criminal Minds, if you
Mm.
need me, I'm there. I'm in.
I mean, Heather, you can do it all. You can raise 3 kids, you can be an influencer, and you can also be an FBI agent, so
Hit me up, okay? I'm ready and willing to go join the bureau. I'm in.
oh my god. If you weren't an influencer, because I always get asked this question, what do you think you'd be doing?
I honestly don't know. So when I was a kid, these are my job things. So, like, you tell me what I would be doing that's not
Okay.
an influencer. So when I was a kid, the first thing I told my mom I wanted to be was Tanya Harding, like the ice skater that beat Nancy Kerrigan. Well, she didn't. Her boyfriend beat Nancy Kerrigan's
Yes.
kneecaps out.
Okay.
So, like, she was my idol for a while, and then I told my pediatrician that I wanted to be one of those girls in the bathing suits at a boxing match that holds up the
The Ring
numbers.
Girls. Mhm.
That
Okay.
so yeah, don't know how I knew about that when I was, like, 3, but that was my other aspiration, and then when
Okay.
I was in 5th grade, I told my parents that I wanted to be a image consultant and, like, tell people what was wrong with them.
Okay.
That was how I worded it to them, so, like, I feel like I found my calling in
Okay.
all of that, but I really do think, like, this is serious. I think if I were not in this, I would love the job on, like, the Today Show or Good Morning America, where it's, like, the steals and deals girl that, like, just says,
Oh.
"Here's what we have today." I would love being that. That would be
I could
my
see you doing that.
I would do that.
I could see you doing that or the image consulting, but, like, telling
Yeah.
people in a very nice way. Like, maybe
Yeah.
maybe a little Botox here.
Like, just, like, let's just try something different. Yeah, I'd be nice about it, I think. But, like,
Yeah.
me in 5th grade, I was like, I could tell people that they were ugly, and I don't know why that was so appealing to me. My mom's like, "Calm down."
Between that and the Ring Girl. You know what, Heather? Your
I'm
parents,
doing well.
God bless their souls.
Yeah.
God bless their souls.
They're
Well, I told my mom I wanted to be a fashion designer, and I showed her my drawings, and she said, "We should pick a different career." And I said, "Okay." To this day, I still bring that up, and I was like, "You're a dream crusher." Like, some parents are like, "Go be that astronaut. Go be that doctor. Go be that fashion designer." My mom literally was
Yeah.
like, "I don't think so. I don't think so." I was like, "Okay, thanks, mom."
I mean, I think we should live our dreams. Let's just go. I, right now, could definitely do the ring girl thing, with my diaper on. That would be a look. Like,
Yeah,
I think you have a career in fashion. I think that this could work out.
you know, I think you should be the ring girl first and tell me how that one goes before I
Yeah.
start going to fashion school.
I Done. Okay. Deal. I'm
Is it
in.
is a diaper comfortable?
It's more comfortable than you would think, you know.
Okay.
I think that these have really come a long way. These ones are black too, so like the
Oh,
sexy ones, you know,
okay.
like slightly sexy.
Love that.
So yeah, they're really great. They're great.
How long do you have to
I
wear
love them.
that post giving birth?
Well, maybe like let's say 2 weeks, because
Okay.
like every sometimes I you might stop and you might think that you're not,
Mhm.
bleeding anymore or anything, and then you still are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's such a beautiful experience, honestly. Birth, it's just it's beautiful. It's
I mean, Heather, you got a baby out in one push, so like you actually don't get to speak on birth. You
actually true, true.
Yep. It's fine. It's fine.
People
Yeah,
are
no.
like, people are like screaming and like in labor for like hours and hours and hours and pushing for hours and hours. I'm like, what's the big deal, guys? This
Yeah,
is
we're
fine. We
fine.
got it. I
Um
got it.
I'm so curious because I always make a joke and I'm actually not kidding. Like I want to be wearing makeup giving birth. If you're listening to this and you're judging me, judge away. You just judge. I literally am like maybe a tinted moisturizer and like a mascara
No.
moment. I'm fine. Heather, you looked so good. You look
Okay.
so good post giving birth.
So this time around and the first time around, so the first time around I had makeup on while I was giving birth because I was having really bad contractions, and it was like the one thing that I could do with my hands to keep myself busy. Like,
Okay.
so then I was like, my mind was off contractions, and I just happened to have makeup with me, like thinking I
Love
would want it
that.
for after.
Yeah.
So I just started doing it. It was in the middle of the night, whatever. This time around, I had been in labor, like early labor for a week. And so my parents had the kids, and Christian and I went to a movie, and I had started having contractions. And like anytime I would put makeup on, like that week that the kids were gone, I was like, I'm not going to take this makeup off until I know for sure that we are not going into the hospital. So I just happened to have makeup on from the movie, and I kept it on all the way through labor, and it worked out.
What hit me with the setting spray? What setting spray are we using?
The one from One Size Beauty. Also, speaking of like, I posted this on Instagram. I was like, One Size Beauty, that's legit. They're sending me a PR package because I'm like,
Hell yeah.
that's the actual test. Yeah.
Yeah, it made it through labor. No, I literally saw that photo and I was like, freaking Heather.
Stop.
She looks so good after giving birth. Knowing me, I'm gonna be woken up in the middle of the night. I'm not gonna have time. It's gonna be like an emergency. Get to there. You know what? My husband, whatever dude, baby daddy, whatever he may be, he's gonna have a makeup bag. I'm gonna say, look, in the hospital
Listen,
bag, tube of mascara. I need it.
like I think I want to be one of those ladies at like some point in time that like, and I think maybe this is what we should do is like that you just have like your makeup person like on speed dial, and they're like come to the hospital, photographer, makeup person,
Honestly,
with this glam team.
I'm not opposed. Wait,
I'll come.
no,
I will be there for
I
you.
am. Thank you, thank you,
I'll
thank
be like
you.
makeup plus your like doula, like being like breathe, you
Honestly,
know.
Heather, after hearing I want your birth juju when I give birth. I want that one push babies out situation. So you're hired. I don't think you're a certified doula, but like that's why I'm willing to risk it.
I'll get certified by then. It'll be
Think
fine. It'll be good.
between that and the ring girl and the image consult, I think and the FBI agent, I think you can do it all.
We I think I have like at least like a I'm not gonna fail in life because I have so many career options, you
There you
know,
go. Yeah, honestly, you're set for life. Before
for
we
life.
wrap up, some people, actually, a lot of people wanted me to ask you about makeup. You're a former makeup artist. You're so freaking good, guys. If you're listening, go
Thank
follow
you.
her for all the makeup tips because I seriously do learn so much. So before we go, like you're stranded on an island, say
Oh,
hypothetically. Love that.
okay.
Hypothetically stranded on an island, you get to have 3 makeup products, like your holy grail.
Oh,
What are you bringing on an island? Maybe not an island, just like 3 things you need every day.
yeah, because like SPF would be out the window. I'm like, I feel like that's important on an island, you know, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah. I think probably I'm like a blush slut. Like, I
Okay.
love me some blush, so I would probably pick blush over, like, anything. Concealer because, like, I need it right now. I
Okay.
think concealer everyone can favor well from that. Maybe and an eyebrow pencil because I also am just
Oof.
naked mole rat up here, you know?
Re- Wait, are you for or against microblading?
I have it, but well, I had it before, and then I
Okay.
went and got permanent makeup done, which actually helped to, like, dilute the microblading.
Oh,
I like it, but I think, like, it takes a lot of, like, um it can, like, build up a lot of scar tissue and stuff like that, so
yeah.
they say that if you're gonna do it long term, you should just get permanent makeup now versus
Oh,
microblading. But, like, I've seen some really, really phenomenal, like, brows and stuff get done where you'd be shocked. Like, they
that they're
don't look like
microbladed.
yeah, they really look like they look really good, so
Wait, what permanent makeup do you have?
I have my eyebrows done, and
Okay.
then I guess that's it. I had my lips blushed once, which
Okay.
was the most painful thing of my entire life.
Really?
That was way worse.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
gosh.
Okay, so funny you say that. I was literally just looking into getting it done in Nashville, but now I'm maybe not.
Maybe if, like, the person has, like, really good, like, I don't know if you get, like, a dental block or something, but, when
Oof.
I tell you it was the most painful experience, like, I would give birth 100 times over before doing that again.
Okay, no.
It was bad.
No. I'm tapping
It
out.
was yeah.
Continue with my lip filler and lip liner. I'm
Oh, till I die. Yeah, actually scratch that. All the makeup products, let me just replace it with Botox, and then, like, we're good.
honestly, yeah. Have you ever done
Yeah.
under eye filler?
I did it once, and I didn't really like it. Like,
Okay.
it looked beautiful without makeup on, so I think if you, like, are a minimal makeup girl, I am not.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way to go. But for me, because I'm so used to doing my makeup, making like, trying to, like, make it look brighter and stuff under there that I feel like my eyes just constantly looked like when you wake up in the morning, your eyes are puffy and stuff?
Yeah.
If I had makeup on, that's kinda how I felt, like, it just, like,
Weird.
made me look puffy. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I just got under eye PRP done.
Oh,
Um,
that I like.
which I did one.
Yes.
I want to do it again. Speaking of painful things, that unpleasant.
Really?
Un
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I did not like it.
Where they go in, like, they put the hole here and then they
Yep.
put the cannula in your yeah.
But you know
That's,
what
like,
I
a
did?
weird feeling.
But I could hear it popping. I think that's what
Yeah.
you can, like, hear the needle or cannula go through, and she was like,
Yeah.
"You got some tough skin." I was like, "Is that a good or a bad thing?" She's like, "I mean, it's good, but it makes it hard to shove things into my face." So, not
Oh,
pleasant, but, like, I liked it.
I mean, it looks that is probably, like, I would say if I was, like, gonna give somebody, like, advice, that would be the way that I would say to, like, plump up your under eye
Yeah.
areas with PRP, PRF, all that stuff. They have this new stuff called Easy Gel, which is, like,
Oh.
the next level up from, like, those things, and I don't they can put it literally everywhere. I don't know.
Oh.
See, like,
Yeah.
my best friends in town here are the owners of a med spa, and so they just give me all the tea. They let me know what's, like, happening. I've been keeping a list while pregnant
Okay.
of, like, all the things
Yes.
that, I wanna do. I still haven't done any of them
Just
yet, but
yeah, pass that list to me because when I tell you
yeah.
I know literally nothing, I'm like, I don't know, freeze my face, Botox. Yeah, I like that. The only reason
Yeah.
I got the under eye thing is because my girl literally was like, "We'll just like we'll let you do it for free." And I was like, "Okay." Like
Okay.
just just like put some holes in my face. Sure, sure, sure. But yeah, hit me with your list of like, I don't know, I'm turning 30, so I feel like I should start taking care of my face, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I have been there. Right now, like,
You look
my
great.
uh I feel a little old. I feel, like, a little old and wrinkly right now, so I cannot wait to, like I think honestly, after this, I'm probably gonna text my friend and be like, "I need to get in for Botox because
Oh, because you can't get it
that
done when
time."
pregnant, can you?
Nope. Nope, and that's even, like, me
Oh.
begging them where I'm like, "Guys, I won't tell anybody, please." I'm like, "Heather, no." Like, "Come on."
We literally went, "Wow, you can't do that, you can't drink, and you can't dye your hair." The things we do for children and love and families a lot.
I know. It's so I mean, like, these kids better really respect me because they don't
Yeah.
understand the sacrifices that we have made for them.
Wait, okay, my last question because 'cause I'm curious, what was the first thing you ate after birth? I
Um,
don't know why I need to know
I
that.
I begged while I was in labor. So, like, this is my 3rd baby too. So, like, all the rules and stuff for me, like, kind of were out the window, like, like, you're not supposed to eat, like, lunch meat while you're pregnant
Mhm.
and stuff, like, listen, that ship has sailed because I have 2 kids before this and, like, they turned out fine, so, like, I
Yeah.
know that, like a Subway sandwich is probably not going to hurt this child, and my doctor, my OB, also said the same thing. They're like, "These rules are put in place for, like, people who have 0 concept of moderation," you know? That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So, they're like, "If you're good, then you're good." So, okay, so I begged though, because 'cause you're not supposed to eat while you're in labor, but I begged Christian for Twizzlers and a piece of beef jerky while I was in labor, and he's like, "Heather, you can't eat." And I'm like, "That's only if I'm gonna have a C-section, and I know I'm not gonna have a C-section." He's like, "Nope, they said just clear liquids." And I'm like, "And Jello." And he's like, "Those things aren't Jello." I'm like, Twizzlers are basically Jello,
Yeah,
okay? I'm sorry.
just
It's
in
basically
harder
Jello.
form. Okay.
So, I think the first thing I ate was, like, a piece of beef jerky, and then after that, I ordered, like, an omelet from the hospital, and it was great.
Hell yeah.
It was pretty boring, but I mean,
We love that. Okay.
yeah,
Well, Heather, I could literally talk to you in chat literally all day long, but
I
you've
know.
got 3 children to take care of, so
My
I'm
husband's like, "Where are you?"
I'm gonna give you back to your husband and your children. But before I go, for the people who now want to see all your things on Instagram, which they should, where can they find you?
My handle is at the Heather Kuntz. That's it.
Do people pronounce your last name wrong ever?
All the time. I mean, let's be real. And we have to be very careful about, like, what names we pick, things
Mm,
like that, just because, like, just in case, but it's Kuntz.
okay.
Like, yeah, not I mean, hey, if you wanna if you can pronounce it however you want. I think it's very fitting for me and a lot of times, but
It's a good one.
yeah,
It's a good one.
cute.
Well, guys, guys, go follow her. I can't even speak. Go follow Heather on Instagram for makeup and fashion and children and fun and calling out trolls. Actually, go troll her. Go troll her and see if she posts your handle. See if you get posted on her old story. I'm sure you
I'll do
will.
it. I'll totally do it.
Oh my God. Well, Heather, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks,
Come to Nashville.
Morgan.
Becca literally said, she was like, if you don't get Heather here in person to do this podcast, and I said, Becca, she just had a baby a week ago. So like probably
I
not gonna
literally
happen.
almost texted you. Literally almost texted you back to be like, "Do you want me to come to Nashville? Because I will." Yeah.
Heather,
Next
look,
one, next season.
next season, season 3, we'll run it back. In fact, maybe what we should do a live podcast from Tin Roof.
I was just gonna say that.
I think we
Yes.
can make it happen.
I think
My producer's
I
by
will get a black eye.
she's behind there being like, no, please don't make me. Please don't make me. I'm like, come on, tin roof, tin roof. Oh my
Let's
God.
go.
It's fine. We're gonna make it happen. I love you so much. Come visit me.
Love you. Okay.
All right. Bye,
All
besties.
right.
See
Bye.
everyone next week.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to the Your Internet Best Friend podcast. It's been real, it's been fun, and I will see everyone here next week. In the meantime, do all the podcast things, like, subscribe, give me a 5-star review if you please, and catch up with me on social media at Morgan Lee Willette. Bye, besties.